small towns to big cities and everywhere in between. We're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
And hi, everybody. I'm Ernie Anastas. Thank you so much for being here to celebrate hope, optimism, because that's what we are all about. We try to bring you stories and information that can improve your life and those around you. We also appreciate the kind of response that we're getting and enjoy hearing from you anytime. Do that. We like it. All right, let's face it. Everybody likes to be around a cheerful person. That usually happens when we're happy and content and we're doing what we like. And that includes where we live and, of course, where we work. Well, now my first guest this week is talking about a new trend of working from home. He is a board-certified clinical psychologist who has some pretty amazing facts to share with us. Dr. Jeff Gardere with a great smile on his face. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Great to see you, Ernie, as always.
As always. Hey, listen, lots to talk about today, Jeff. You know, one of the things that we talked about before is the trend. People are working from home. It's happening everywhere. Fill us in. What are some of the good things and some of the difficult things about doing that?
Well, the great thing about working from home, of course, is that you could spend more time with the family. You don't have to deal with a lot of the long commutes that we once had. And you can actually get a lot more work in because less commute means more time working. Now, that also becomes a bit of a problem when you're home all the time because
Yes.
you're not so used to being around people and you lose some of those social gatherings and a lot of the essential kinds of interactions we had. And if you're not focused at what you're doing, then being at home can be a bit of a disaster and you get much less work done.
Right. You can have all of these distractions going on at home. So it's trying to stay focused, having some kind of a routine and a schedule if you're working from home, right?
That's right. Well, look, if you have the privilege of working from home, I think there are some things that you need to do. First and foremost, get a dedicated workspace. I mean, as you could see, I'm working from my home workspace and I have a separate office. But if I were in a studio apartment, I'd find a corner of that apartment that is dedicated to where I am. I also think it's really important that, Ernie, we have efficient computers, IT devices, hosting packages. So when we do it first class, the way that you do it from your studio. And I would say stay away from social media. Dress clean and neatly. I'm working from home, but I'm dressed as if I were in the office, person to person, face to face. And it's also important that we take care of ourselves physically because we're sitting all the time.
That's true. Jeff, I have to ask you too, a lot of people are saying, you know, this is a choice that I want to make too. I want to be able to live somewhere because of lifestyle, because of what I really want from myself and from my family. That's a choice that a lot of people are making and saying, I will find a job, but it's got to fit in with my personal life first.
Yeah, we're finding a lot of people are doing that. We talk about, the great escape right now. A lot of people who feel that they're not getting, Ernie, what they want from their jobs are actually walking away, even if they're getting the money. It's got to be about the quality of life, finding that work-life integration. So for some people, working from home or having a hybrid situation has been perfect for them because it gives them a lot of the quality of time that they've wanted to have with regard to being with family or working in a very quiet space that really is conducive to who they are and their personality.
Exactly. Jeff, let me ask you this too, because there are a lot of companies that are losing their workers. A lot of people are saying, I don't want to come back and work in the office. So companies have to deal with that issue as well.
I think what the companies really need to do is to not order them to go back, I guess, and that's part of what they may need to do, but to entice them to come back. What's at the office that will really work for you? Here's the big one, Ernie. You ready for this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Free food. Give them food. Feed them. They'll come back.
I know.
Absolutely. Give them exercising privileges. Set up little get-togethers at some of the neighborhood businesses,
make it attractive,
restaurants, and so on.
Yeah,
exactly. Those are the things that will get people
I think you're
to
right
come
about
back.
that. Jeff, quickly, my question. What's great about America, my friend? Tell me.
The fact that we can talk about what's great about America, telling the truth about it, being able to tell the truth about it, and it not being propaganda. What we say is great about America really is great about America, including what you're doing with this incredibly positive show about America.
Hey, Dr. Jeff Gardere, thank you so much for joining us, okay?
Always a pleasure.
And coming up next, I'll introduce you to a woman who knows a little something about building a new life.
Hi guys, it's Alison Victoria from HGTV. I am coming up next with Ernie Anestos on Positively America.
And we're back, everybody. I'm Ernie Anestos. You know, I'm very excited to welcome my next guest on the show. I know you're going to recognize her face. She's a very popular TV host and successful interior designer. You can see her hosting Windy City Rehab on HGTV in her hometown of Chicago. Let's say hi to Alison Victoria. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. You know, Alison, you're so busy doing a lot of things, and I want to start by asking you, who inspired you, huh? Who was it?
You know, my mother always had a great sense of design. I remember growing up and our homes were always just beautiful. And she was never, she wasn't a trained designer, but she just had that ability. And I think that it was one of those things that I was born with. I started designing when I was very young. We lived in our house, and my sister and I shared a bedroom, and I was constantly moving furniture and adjusting floor plans, and trying to get that feng shui feel with all that I had, because obviously I'm 11, I can't go buy a new bedroom set. So it's how do I work with what I have? And then before I knew it, I was designing my best friend's bedroom. Wow. So we were ripping the carpet up to get to the hardwood floors and painting the floors in a peach color. Yep. And again, at 11, I think it was just I knew what I wanted to do at such a young age, which I think is what's allowed me to stay and remain so happy about what I do. I love it. I really do. I talk about design the way some people might talk about the person they're in love with.
You try to stay upbeat. What sort of rule do you have to live by? What is it?
I live each day as if it was my last. And I think that, I don't know if it takes, someone close to you passing away to realize that, or if it's just something that's in you, like design is for me. But even before experiencing great loss in my life, it's wait a minute, I only have one shot. And this is not a very long life. And so how do I get up every day and make it count and just make sure that I'm doing things that really make me happy every day? If I'm not laughing and smiling, and if my face doesn't hurt or my abs don't hurt, at the end of the day, it wasn't a great one. It was a good one, but it wasn't a great one. And I think it's I say yes to experiences with people that I love, and to make sure that I'm constantly learning and growing, but just I want to be happy. And whatever that, and I know it sounds selfish, but you have to take care of you first. And if you're not happy, then you're never going to create happiness around you. I can't make somebody happy, but I can resonate that. And the only way I can resonate happiness is if I'm living my best life. So I choose to I work hard and I play hard, and I never want to be somebody who says, oh, I wish I did that. Mm-hmm. I want to be somebody who said, I did it, it didn't work, or maybe it did work, but it didn't work, but that's okay because I tried. Yeah. And I don't know, I feel we could talk for hours, but there's something in me that I don't have the fear anymore of failure. And that comes with time. I'm 41 now, and so it took a while to not be scared of anything. I don't know. I'm scared of heights, but that's about it.
Sometimes we are. Let me ask you something. People around you, are they getting more positive, do you think?
The people that I know, yes. I do feel that, but I think that's there. We can't help it, right? We have necessary evils in our life, like social media, and hearing the negativity coming out of that, and right. I think that can be such a, I don't know. I think it can be all-consuming if you allow it to be, but the people that I surround myself with are people that are full of optimism and happiness.
Good.
And if you're not, get out.
Alison, what keeps you motivated and positive?
If I could use a song, that would be great. I would sing it for you, but I don't know it all that well. But it's by Tim McGraw, and it's called Live Like You Were Dying. And it's something that I believe in because I know it could be morbid and it could be kind of depressing to think about, but it could also be very beautiful if you go at life that way. If today's my last, how do I want to spend it? And I wish that more people could really have that attitude and look at life that way versus worrying about the future or regretting the past. And your energy shouldn't be spent there. And so if you put your energy into the now and what you can control, you can't help but be. So I hope everybody can find a little happiness, at least for today.
And here we are. We are back now with Positively American. We thank you very much for watching us. We truly believe that if you surround yourself with good thoughts and positivity, you'll feel better every day. And that's why we're here to share good stories and information with you all the time. Okay, now, have you ever gone into a store to buy something and you kind of panicked because you realize you didn't have any cash? I know it probably hasn't happened because now we're moving closer and closer to a cashless economy. It's all about credit cards, right? Joining us right now with more is a very accomplished individual. She's a lifestyle writer, TV commentator who specializes in smart shopping, beauty, tech, apps, toys, gift guides, you name it. We welcome Trae Bodge to our show. Hi, Trae. How are you?
Hi, Ernie. I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, terrific. Good to have you on board. Hey, listen, cashless, okay? That's what everybody does. You walk into a store, even if you buy something for $2, you put the card in. What's going on, Trae?
Well, this is becoming more and more common. People have stopped carrying cash. And in fact, a recent survey from Good Firms found that 83% of us believe that we'll eventually be completely cashless. Now, I don't know about that, but there are so many ways to pay now that you don't need to bring cash with you anymore, which is, I think, very convenient.
Absolutely. It's like buy now, pay later. I mean, they make it very popular and very easy for you to buy things without putting out any cash.
That's true. I mean, we've obviously had credit cards for a very long time, but now even credit cards are easier to use. You can tap to pay them. You can connect your credit cards to, say, Apple Pay or Google Pay. There's apps like Venmo and PayPal and restaurant apps and, like you said, buy now, pay later, and even cryptocurrency, believe it or not.
Trae, does it really affect everyone, or is it just, younger people who are more comfortable with it?
Well, younger people have grown up with their phones in their hands, right? So this is something that's more comfortable for them. Younger people tend to be earlier adopters. In fact, there's a really interesting survey from Bread Financial, who I work with, and they were asking people how they plan to pay for their vacation. And I thought that this was really telling. 25% of millennials said that they were going to pay with their vacation with buy now, pay later, whereas Gen Xers and boomers were paying significantly less by buy now, pay later. And similar stats to cryptocurrency, 25% of millennials plan to pay for their vacation with crypto, whereas Gen Xers and boomers, a very small amount of us plan to do that. So the younger consumer is definitely going to be the earliest adopter here.
I can understand that. A lot of people are concerned about using their phone, holding the phone up, to be able to charge with and so forth. Too much information on there. So I have to ask you this, okay? And I'm sure a lot of people, is it safe? I mean, do we have to worry about security when we're paying without cash?
Now, I'll say this, it is generally safe, but this is something that's constantly being improved. You may have heard years ago that scammers were buying gift cards, for example, and paying for things with gift cards in a way that wasn't on the up and up, right? And now we've seen things like Zelle, for instance. You can pay for Zelle through your banking app, and we've seen some issues with scammers using Zelle to get money from people who weren't expecting to pay something or thought that they were paying someone else. And so there are some issues, and this will be something that goes on, but I am seeing that improving and stronger security measures are being put in place. And typically your carrier, your provider, like your credit card company, will protect you in these cases.
Sure. So Trae, help us out, okay? Very simple now, some guidelines, okay? We want to be able to use our cards. We want to get in and be current, with the way things are. So what should we think about? Quick tips. What do we do?
Yeah. So first of all, I would say, Ernie, that, the one thing that concerns me a little bit about cashless paying is that it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. If you have cash, it's in your hand and you're paying for it. There's a physical and mental action to that versus when you're paying, say, tap to pay or using a Google Wallet. It's kind of like you may go off the rails a little bit with your spending. So it's really important to keep your spending in check because this is money that you're paying. And what we're also seeing, because inflation is increasing so much right now, that debt is becoming very expensive. And so I would say my main tip out there is just to keep a check on your spending. And if you find that you're spending too much, you might want to go back to cash, or you want to make sure that you use maybe a debt payoff app like Tally, who I partner with. They help to harness your debt, pay it off twice as quickly, free up a little wiggle room in your budget. And they do this by creating a lower interest line of credit. So you're not affected by the strong inflation that's happening. So that would be my word of caution, is remember that when you're paying cash free, you're actually paying. Like, you need to have the money to do so.
Thank you so much, Trae Bodge. Always good information. Thank you. I'll come back again soon, all right?
My pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, our Billy Floyd is asking America, how do you maintain a positive attitude? I have a feeling we're going to get some good answers when we come right back. Keep it here.
Welcome back to Positively America. I'm Billy Floyd. This week, we're asking America, how do you maintain a positive attitude?
I think the main thing you have to do is remember what you have to be grateful for. And everybody has things to be grateful for, however small they may be. And I think that's the key.
My friend, how do you maintain a positive attitude?
I think make me happy is very important. And I'm a positive man, so I always be happy. So I will always be positive.
So every time you're around someone, you make them happy too, because you're just so positive, right?
Yes. I will try my best and keep everybody happy, everybody positive.
Life is too short to be miserable and unhappy.
How do you maintain a positive attitude?
Well, first of all, I think happiness is better than any other choice. And if you don't look at things like they're going to get better, they're already great, then it's very depressing.
So do whatever things you like.
What things do you like to do? What makes you happy?
Like watching movies, reading novels.
All the simple stuff. I love it.
I look like this in the morning when I wake up.
Look good, feel good, play good. Can you confirm?
That's it.
Positive vibes only, baby. We'll see you next week on Positively America. I'm Billy Floyd.
And thank you very much, Billy. All right, this is one of my favorites. It's about taking charge and being in control. I learned this some time ago from a very good friend and a very successful person who shared it with me. Okay, if you make a plan, then you get to make choices and decisions rather than leaving it to others by chance or having other people decide for you. It's much easier to identify and focus on your priorities when you create a plan. And you're the only one that can do that. You have to be honest to yourself and just, don't think about someone judging you, judging your choices. By planning and having a sense of purpose, it makes your dreams more realistic and attainable. You have a roadmap. Now, the next big thing is action. Don't just sit there, start moving and doing stuff. It feels good when you see things happening. Plus, a good plan makes it easier for you to stay focused and you can say no to the things that aren't important to you. And one last thing that I personally think is important. Having a plan can also protect you from against no regrets. We're often sorry about the things that we didn't do. So you make a plan, You make yourself confident. Success is in your hands. You're the one that can take charge. Make the plan, follow the plan, and I'm going to find out great success stories when you let me know. I'm rooting for you. That's it for now. I'm Ernie Onassis. I'll see you next time on Positively America. So everybody, stay positive.